Hello again, it's Mario here. It's been over a month since my last project, Detonation Protocol, so I thought I'd give you a little update on what I've been doing since then. I've decided to do two separate level design videos where I will talk about and show you the steps I took in the creation of my current project called The Secrets of Odrin. In the first video, which is this one, I will talk a bit about the project and what it is about, the research I did to understand the layout and surroundings for the project, the beat and legend breakdown, the creation of the bubble map, showing you the overall progression of the level, and finally the 2D sketches. From there, I will show you a top-down view of the level and do a breakdown of the areas the player has to get to. In the second video, I will do a playthrough to show the final version of the level and also show the mechanics the player has to collect and use to get from one point to the next. So without further delay, let's start talking about the brief. So I decided to base my project around my hometown Shumen, specifically in a certain area called Odrin, where the player has to enter the area to search and collect an arc reactor and escape. So while I knew the basic brief of the project, I decided to go further and ask myself these questions, which would help and make it easy for me to start working on the project. After going through the questions, I then went on Google Maps to see the layout of the area from a top-down view as well as browse the street view, just so I had an idea of how the level might look. After this, I then decided to do an effective pacing plan which addressed the following questions. From there, I began doing the bubble map with the beat breakdown and legend breakdown. While doing the bubble map, I decided to add side paths for the player where they will discover new locations with new information and objects they can collect. I wanted to make the exploration within the area more interesting and also make sure the player did not waste time or be disappointed in finding nothing while exploring the outside. The bubble map shows the player's progression and where they can go. It also shows block locations, meaning the player needs to explore furthermore and find certain objects to open those locations. I have also added information and objects inside the bubble map, which will then help me knowing what I need to put and where when starting on the level in UE5. The legend breakdown shows what each object is for better clarity, and the beat breakdown gives us a key information on what the player has to do inside the level. Now before we go inside the Unreal Engine, I quickly wanted to go back to these two images and explain why I have circled these specific areas on the map. So going from right to left, the player begins the exploration, and the first two circled areas are where the player can do their side path. Now, the player can avoid doing the side path and go directly to the first block, which is the third circle. This is the first main point of the level. From there, once the player completes their tasks, they can enter the second block, which is via the underground. Once explored, the player can check the playground and then enter the house for the second side path, or go directly towards the final block and complete the mission. So, now that we're inside the Unreal Engine, you can see what the level looks like and how I've created it. As mentioned before, the player starts from the right side of the map and begins exploration by going to the left, with the playground being the first interaction on the map. So, that's it for now. If you have any feedback or suggestions, please don't hesitate to comment. I will see you in the next level design video where I will do a full playthrough of the map to showcase everything I have done, including mechanics the player can use.